We'll call this take one, I guess. Greetings, travelers. Welcome to Channel 42. This is In the Cafe. Today, we bring you to a very, very special location built specially for us by Nirwana of the PBF. This is a very fantastic base, and we are very, very proud to be using this for the Channel 42 interviews. And today we have a very, very special guest. I've been trying to get a hold of Swisher. With times being so busy, it's been difficult. So he was featured, I think, back in October, which is several months back now, I think. And finally, we have a chance to get together and meet. Welcome to the show, Swisher, one of the leaders of Amino Hub and a good friend. Swisher, welcome. How are you?
I'm wonderful, and thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Even more so, it's a pleasure to be able to have you at Nirwana's base that she's built for us, and it's fantastic. I love what she's done here. She's such an amazing builder and very creative. It's very beautiful to look at.
It's awesome. I've been buzzing around outside looking at the whole base, and she's done a wonderful job here.
She certainly has, and we're super stoked to be able to use it, and that she's done such an amazing creation for us. I see today you're rocking the Anomaly figure. Looks pretty cool. You're all dressed in dapper white.
Yeah, I like my Anomaly figure. I've got three different figures that I use. So
Yeah. Right now he's hovering. He
I don't
looks.
know why it's doing that.
Yeah, every now and then it does those funny things on multiplayer. It just starts hovering. We have to talk to Sean about that, see if we can get that fixed. So we have, geez, we've got so much to talk about. It's been a long time. I think about a year since the last time we got together and chatted. That was back when when AH was expanding into Eisentam. And for those of you who don't know, AH has a couple of locations. One is obviously the most known in Akapat, where the Pilgrim Star is, and they recently expanded into Eisentam. Can you tell us whereabouts you guys expanded to in Eisentam? Like towards the center, same location, or was
It's probably about 600,000 light years from the center. Uh, we've been there, I guess about 6 months now, and
okay?
we've had some. We hadn't had a big community base building on the home system. Most of us just been out exploring.
There's so
I
much to
try to.
explore out there.
Yes, there is, and I like hanging out in the outer rim. It's peaceful out there. There's not a lot of bases. Matter of fact, there's not a lot of people out there. Period. You know, you can. Uh, it's hard to locate other bases out there. So
Yeah, it's not a lot of people have made their way out to Eisentam yet, and as they do, a lot of it is through the story mode, and as you complete it, you're given a choice, and that's one of them. And I think it's a very fitting place to have a secondary expansion of the Amino Hub. And you guys have a lot of really, really talented builders over there at Amino Hub, so I'm looking forward to seeing some really cool stuff in the future. Um, let's talk about yourself a little bit. I noticed you've got a little bit of an accent. Whereabouts are you from, sir?
I live in Arlington, Texas, the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Right on.
Uh, I've lived in Texas my whole life. I was born in Port Arthur, Texas, which is on the coast, the southern coast, and we moved to Dallas, to the Dallas-Fort Worth area when I was probably 5 or 6 years old, and we've been here ever since.
Wow.
Grew up here, went to school here.
Born and bred
It's
Texan. Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Right on.
My,
How's the
my,
weather these days? It's just about spring. Are you experiencing some nice weather, or have you still got some of the garbage?
Well, it's been raining here constantly for, well, I say constantly. We've had a couple, 2 or 3 dry days in the last 2 or 3 weeks. The weather turned warm. It's been in probably the 60s or 70s, and just typical for Texas today. It's working its way down to the high 30s, is what they said it's going to be tonight. So,
Oh,
uh, and it can be that way. It can be 70 one day, and then the next morning it can be 26. So,
yeah, well, I hope you've got a sweater.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm a little bit more lucky. My climate's doesn't have quite as much of the ups and downs. It's very stable. Um, we do get a lot of rain, which is a kind of a result of which. But I'm lucky today. We've got a very sunny day. It's gorgeous. It looks like spring, and I'm excited to get on with the nice weather. Hopefully, we get a little bit more than 2 weeks of summer this year in Vancouver.
yeah. I'm over the cold. I don't really like the cold. I mean, I can bear it, but I'd rather have warm, sunny weather. Being from the coast. So
Yeah. I prefer to wear shorts and pants and a nice Hawaiian shirt and just sort of chilling. Um, I don't know about you, but yeah, cold is just sometimes it's too much. Um,
yeah.
yeah, let's bring on the warm climate. All right, I'm good for that. So now you've played the game, from what I understand, since day one. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a day
Yeah.
one player. You've got,
Yes.
dare I even ask, how many hours have you played on No Man's Sky?
My legacy save has 3,140 hours, I think.
Wow, nice one. I don't think I have any of my saves with that much accumulated time. Mine is very much split up, but that's impressive. 3,100 hours on the legacy. Good for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm glad
I
it still
enjoy this
works.
game. Oh yeah, it works real well. There's been some challenges going through, and a couple times I thought that HG was going to wipe out our legacy saves, and they ended up fixing them so we could keep on going.
Hmm.
I still have my legacy uh, fighter that I got whenever, I guess, the third or fourth month into the game in 2016.
The 48 slaughter.
Uh,
Yeah,
yes, a fighter,
nice
and
one.
I still have my 48 slot freighter.
Oh, you kept the freighter.
It's yes, and it's a Class C, but it's a big, I guess you could call it the destroyer type freighter.
Hmm. Yes, I
And
remember when you could get 48 slot freighters. I wish they would bring those back and possibly improve on the hyperdrive range, or at least make them worth having a little bit more than just a garage. I love the freighters, and I just would like to have more selection and a reason to have a freighter. Um, I don't know what do you use your freighter for?
I have a farm on it. I use it for, I have a complete 21 plants well, 21 of each of the plants on the farm that's on my freighter. I don't really have a lot of, I guess you could say, living quarters. I have a small living quarters that I've made on it just to have something to do. Uh, I wish they would increase the storage on it. I don't like the fact that 48 slots on my freighters won't hold much more than the 48 slots in my suit.
Yeah,
Uh,
that is frustrating.
that doesn't make a lot of sense. I have my storage containers on it. Uh, I keep all the anomalous planets. You can collect the cubes and
The
the
glitches.
mushrooms
Yeah.
and yeah, the glitches. You can collect all that, and I've got, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 of each one of the glitches in my freighter,
Hmm.
just in case the game decides to change something. Uh,
Yeah, which they love to do.
right, and I still have a lot of the items in my storage storage containers and on my freighter
Yeah.
from the legacy days. That some of the original items that they had.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Like the Atlas Stone. I still have some
yeah,
of
oh
mine.
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. I have Atlas stones, and yeah, I won't get rid of those. I know a lot of people got rid of them; they can't make them anymore. Uh,
Yeah, I've got a stack of 10, and that's all I have, just one stack.
right.
But yeah, I managed to save the stack of 10 on two of my legacy saves, and we go with that. And one day maybe they'll be used for something. But yeah, like you, I've kept them. I find it funny that you brought up living quarters. I myself is very much the same. I don't really have living quarters so much on my builds or my base or freighter. So much as just sort of useful stuff like plants and teleporters and whatnot. Um, I don't often think about, like a bed or living quarters, or anything like that. It might be interesting, in the future for possible updates where, they improve upon the beds and the chairs where you can possibly lay down and recharge yourself, over a period of time or something like that. That might be kind of interesting. Um, Possibly, a kitchen or something more than just the food processor. That would be kind of neat,
Right,
right?
right.
Things like that might be kind of interesting to throw in the game and give us a lot more new parts to play with as well. Because I've seen some really interesting things done with a lot of different parts. You know, a lot of people just think really outside of the box when it comes to parts and merging them all together. So I'd like to see more of that. How about yourself? How's your building been doing these days? You've been a pretty successful builder yourself.
Well, I had a lot of bad luck with my large bases glitching and disappearing, so I pretty much tore down. Uh, Went back through all the galaxies that I had large bases in. I guess the largest one I have is still on the home planet in Euclid. You know, the Amino Hub's home planet.
Hmm.
I still have a large base there. I went and tore down all the other exotic builds that I had, and I just build basic, basic small bases now. I really got turned off to it. I guess about 3 or 4 months ago, I built a large facility way up in the atmosphere,
I
and
remember that. Yeah.
I spent about 3 or 4 days building a large facility, and when I turned the game off and came back, it's just a marker up in the sky now. You can't get to it. Uh,
Darn. Yeah.
so
Very frustrating. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I hear you. Sometimes when the game throws these little bugs at you, you kind of take a step back and just kind of go, okay, fine. I guess I can't do that so much anymore. I'll do something else.
so I
But
just explore, discover animals, kill pirates. Help out other players. That we have a lot of people out there that want to cause heartache on other players. Beginners in the game. They'll shoot them and kill them and shoot them over and over and destroy them. I guess so they can't get to their grave and get their resources back. And
a little
if I
distasteful
find
on that
some
one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if I find somebody doing that, I've got a real strong, like I say, my legacy save. It's pretty hard for me to get killed. I can stand toe to toe with one of the walkers, and get shot for 5 or 6 minutes, and it won't kill me.
Yeah.
So I find somebody, giving somebody heartache, and I'll generally, kill them and then shut my game off where they can't get to their grave, and so.
Well, if people are going to do that, they got to expect it to be done to them too. So, yeah, exactly, right? We can defend ourselves.
Yes.
Exactly. If somebody wants to be a troll, fine. Well, we can get you back. We have guns too. We'll shoot you.
Right.
Yeah. We feel the same way quite often. It's like, yeah, we're pretty docile most of the time, but you put me in a corner, I'm gonna shoot back. The game gave me guns too, and I
Yeah,
know how to
yeah.
use them. So, yeah, it's funny. I hate it when people do things like that, but it's part of the game. It's part of multiplayer.
Right.
And it does happen. And I'm kind of glad that there are others out there that are willing to step up and sort of, help protect some of the newer players because that helps keep them interested in the game. If somebody just came in and trolled you, you're brand new, you haven't done anything, you're not likely going to want to continue playing, you know?
Right. Right.
So,
I helped one guy that some I guess you could call it a troll. He landed his ship on a brand new game. He landed his ship on a planet, and some guy took his terrain manipulator and covered his ship up where he couldn't get to it. And so, so
it's a funny prank, but not on a new
yeah,
player.
yeah. But he didn't have a way to get rid of he didn't have a terrain manipulator, so he couldn't undo the terrain
Oh man.
around his ship. So it was me and another player. I won't bring up his name, but we killed him and unburied the guy's ship and filled him up with about 2 billion in resources so he could become an instant billionaire. So
Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, funny prank on a friend that can take it, but yeah, new players not so much, right? You kind of want to
right.
help develop some of those new players and let them find some enjoyment. Oh, that's good, Swish. I like that.
What
uh,
I enjoy the most is the exploration part of the game. It's
yeah.
just fabulous to be able to go to all these different worlds. I know a lot of people say there's a lot of repetitiveness to it, but if
but
if you look close, it's not so much repetitive as it is. Uh, it's different. It's just different in a different way.
well, it's all
Uh,
randomly generated, right? And
right,
all the different things in the game are randomly generated, and like for example, creatures, they look differently. They may be similar, but they're all different.
right.
Planets, conditions, they're again similar, but all different. I think I read on one of the aminos the other day, somebody found a structure they've never seen before, or at least a combination of structure in they've never seen it like this, where there was an abandoned building attached to a minor settlement in one of those exotic worlds or chromatic worlds, and it was abandoned, the whole thing. No one is there, and there was the stuff growing inside, but things like that, like, have you seen that before?
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
so, how often? So new things appear in the game all the time, and they're always there. You just haven't seen them yet. The game is so
Right.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoy some of the community missions. I don't so much like the community missions where you got to feed animals. I'm not really into like the last one where you had to feed an animal and get an egg or get a certain amount of eggs to get the quicksilver. I don't ride the animals. Can't say that I've ever ridden any of the animals. Uh,
You should try it at least once. I didn't ride them. I didn't ride an animal either for quite a while. I just, it wouldn't let me. The game was kind of buggy on that one for a bit, and so I just sort of gave up on it. And then one day it just sort of happened on a fluke, and it was like the derpiest little animal. It could barely even hold my weight, and it's running around all over the place. And I got to tell you, I laughed my butt off. It was
I,
fun, and I'm not doing anything except just sitting there letting the thing roam around. But it was fun to do because it was something I hadn't done before, and it was just kind of funny to run around on an animal and let them do their thing.
I get a kick out of watching people ride them. Uh,
Yeah,
I like that.
it's
But
funny.
that's like the VR side of it. I've got a VR headset that I play Star Trek on, but to this day, I've never put it on and played this game with it. I don't know why. I just haven't done it.
You got to try flying with VR. That's where it really excels, in my opinion. I tried it a couple of times at Rangers. You know Ranger?
Yes.
Yes, Ranger Elite. He lives very close to me by location up in Vancouver. So I visited his place, and he's got a VR headset, and I tried it a couple of times. And some things are great, and some things are not so great, but it is definitely worth trying at least once, just to say that you have. Flying a ship, oh, that's aces, man. Yeah, it's
Is it?
really cool. Yeah, flying the ship is really awesome. Yeah, once you get the inverted, flight controls sorted out, you're good. It's just really fun. Exocraft, I would recommend staying away from Exocraft if you're motion sickness. Um, it's
I
kind of
don't
like,
get motion sick.
yeah, it's like being a little submarine and everything moves. It's very difficult and jarring in VR. Um, you might be okay with it. I was not. I almost threw up. Walk, walking around is kind of neat. They've given you a couple of options, right? So you can sort of teleport walk, where it gives you an option to choose a location and then teleport there. Kind of weird and funky. Or there's another option. I can't remember what the mode. I think it's like free mode or something like that. And it allows you to walk around, but your arms are like sticking straight out like a zombie. So it's kind of funny. But yes, walking around is really kind of neat. And yeah, I have to admit, flying is definitely worth trying on VR mode. I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It feels like a flight simulator almost.
I'm looking forward to the HG meet this year. If as long as this virus stuff's cleared up, the wife and I are going to London so we can
Are you
so
really?
we can. Yeah, yeah, we're going to it.
Oh
So,
man, that's awesome. Wow, that's a heck of a trek for you. You're taking a plane ride all the way out there.
oh yeah, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Jeez, I can't
We've
even
got the whole
imagine.
vacation planned out. It's just, we're just waiting for this Corona stuff to be done. So,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's taken the world by storm, unfortunately, and hopefully, things get underway quickly enough and quarantines can start to end. That that's somewhat concerning as the quarantine lasts longer and longer and longer. It cuts off a lot of people. So hopefully that gets
right.
cleared up pretty soon. Wow, man, I'm blown away. You're wow, you're taking a flight over there and everything. Um, it's going to be pretty cool. There's a lot of people scheduled to go to that meetup. Um, I'm kind of hoping that a North America meetup might be something possible in the future.
I
Um,
would love that.
so, wouldn't we
Uh,
all? Wouldn't we all? I would.
you
I
know,
would fly to somewhere in North America, but I don't know if I could justify a trip that expensive to the UK or Australia or somewhere on the other side of the world. But North America, if there's a central location, I could probably drive or fly to something like that myself, and would love to do so.
yeah, I've got some leftover Olympic medals that we're gonna give to Sean and give them some certificates for them and some of their people
Really?
there across the street at HG. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
from
awesome, dude.
so we've got a bunch of those. I probably had 20 or 30 of each of the medals left. So from our 2018 Olympics, so
Wow.
we've got some certificates we were going to print up and give them all that, and we have the comic that we're going to present to them.
That's pretty awesome.
So
I'm wow. Yeah, no, no. For those of you who aren't aware, the Olympics that took place last year, I believe it was, Swisher took part as well, and actually had medals made up and certificates, and all those who won and placed first, second, and third, or bronze, silver, and gold, each got medals that Swisher personally had made and sent out to everybody. And it was a very proud moment, and I have mine proudly displayed in my house.
yeah, we enjoyed doing that. Uh, if they decide to have another one, we'll do the medals and the certificates again. It's just something I really enjoy this game. I've been playing video games for many years. I'm 58 years old, so I've been around video games my whole life, and this is something that our way of showing help for participation. This is one of the most awesome video games I've ever been around. So
It really is, and the community makes it just that much better. For a game that sold itself on a single player game, it's made its mark on a multiplayer social media platform very, very well. And I have to say that probably the best overall community for a single video game. And that includes all the little communities and everything. Everybody is just so nice, and rarely do we see bad people in the game. Yeah, once in a while, sure, but
Right.
for the most part, nothing but positive. Nothing but positive. Um, what keeps you coming back? Is it just the exploring, or just the people?
Both. I really, really enjoy the people that I've met, through the Amino Hub. I've never really had a chance to, to meet people from all walks of life and all over the earth, and you know, uh, Boyd and Lily and Niblet and you and uh, everybody's just great. We've had some real great experiences. Back in the beginning, uh, whenever the game first came out, somebody figured out. I think it was Piranha figured out a way to actually go into the core of a planet, and we did a core dive to the center of a planet, and then all got together one day and thought, well, hey, let's go to the center of this planet and then go on all the way through it.
That
And we
was
came
fun.
out on the other side. Yeah, it was a blast.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, I remember that very well. The journey to the center of the core, and then through. We all, yes. Were you with us
and
that
then
night, or were you with us?
yeah, yeah, but it
Oh,
was funny watching people pop out of the ground on the other side.
it was,
Just
yeah. It
so
was hours of swimming down, and then
yeah,
you get to the core, and now you're swimming up. But it took a little finagling because
it
it
was
was
about
different.
4 hours, I think, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, I had elastic bands on my controller.
Yeah, I think we all did.
Yeah, yeah, it was funny. Yeah, some of the fun times we've had with this game, and a lot of it is just the glitches within the game that we've found a way to manufacture fun out of. Um, that we've had some great
But
times. I wish we could still go through the center of the planet. That was something that was really cool within the game. Hopefully they can make that happen again in the future with updates. But yeah, that was good times, man. Yes, the Yellow
the
Submarine.
camaraderie in the communities are just it's just outstanding to me. It's not like other video games. I mean, I know a lot of other people play video games online, with each other, but that's all shooting and killing, and this is more of
This is
a
exploration. Open,
community and exploration.
yeah,
You
open
know,
sandbox of exploring and just existing. You don't have to discover or do zoology. Um, you could build or not. You could
right?
buy ships and sell ships. You could scrap ships. There's so much you can do in the game that's just whatever. There's no linear path. There's no missions. There are missions if you choose to have them, but it doesn't advance the game for you like it like a must thing. This game is unique in that you can do anything you want. Today we're having an interview at somebody else's base with two players, and we're sitting on couches, chilling, watching the fish swim around. Um,
Yeah, we are.
and we're fully entertained doing so. And that's the game. That's the beauty of this game is the camaraderie, like you said, all the communities. Nirvana from PBF community Discord server built this base for us. And I've got you from Amino Hub, and we're chatting, and this is like inter-community fun all here. Everybody's taken part and done great things for each other. We all help each other and pat each other on the back when we've done great things. I can't say enough about the community as a whole. Um, it's just fantastic. The cafe is um, that's my home and my community. I've got homes in several other communities as well as AH, um, but the cafe is my home, and the rest of the community feels quite often like an extension of my own home. That the people and the community, they're all out there, and they all see things the same way. We all grew up from the same cloth, and we all love this game the same way.
Right.
Yeah. Now, do you like the pastel colors of old when the game first came out, or are you more of a fan of the, excuse me, are you more of a fan of the more realistic look that they have now?
I like the advancements that it's made. I like the more realistic looks of the planets and the ships and the people. Uh, you know, I like the fact that we can all meet up and actually see each other as a being now. Whereas in the original versions, we could all meet up. I think 16 of us could meet up but we were orbs. And we would have fun doing that. We'd all sit around as orbs and take pictures of each other
I do miss the
and
orbs. As random and uh, everybody looked the same, but
right,
it was a thing. It was fun. It was your orb and my orb and
right.
fun days. I do remember that. Yeah, the instance of the orb. I do kind of like them. I like the player customization now as well. As you can see, I've been fitted out with the alien traveler look.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that.
yeah, that's sort of, I figured when I was going to do that and make the switch from warp to character, I wanted something unique and different that others hadn't done. So I chose this look, and I've been sticking with it and rocking with it. And that's sort of my image, I guess, if you want to call it that, since I no longer have one wings to claim. Come on, HG, let's fix those. Um, and that's the great thing about the game is they keep putting great things in the game. Yeah, you may have a bug or something taken away from you, but they've sort of added so many other things to keep you occupied that it really doesn't matter so much. I miss my one wings, but I got a living ship.
Yeah, you do, don't you? You like
So
those asymmetrical ships.
yeah, so I mean it pans out in the end, you know. There's just so many things you can enjoy and do, and you can choose to be upset over it or just get over it and move on. And you've done the same in a lot of regards with some funny bugs that you've had to overcome. Um, and you're still playing the game because you enjoy it, you love it, and there's good things that you like to do in the game. That's one thing doesn't work, so move on to something else, and you find enjoyment in that, and that's important, to be able to do that and to have a game to be able to do that with. Um, Recently, you came out to the Zobrage Galaxy in 42. Um, it's been a long time. I'm surprised you're not already there. What made you decide to come out there?
Well, I've been wanting to get to 42 for a long time, uh, and I don't know. Like I say, I don't get in a hurry in this game. I try not to get in a hurry and do anything. It's more about the exploration for me, and I decided that I wanted a presence here in 42. Uh,
Oh,
I like the way that they've done the game now, so you can join another player in another galaxy, and you can actually still travel, or not still, you can now travel from one galaxy to another, back and forth.
absolutely.
Originally, you could only go forward, you couldn't go backwards.
Hmm.
And now
That's
you
right.
can, you can just go to a teleporter and especially if you create a base in whatever galaxy you're in, and I have bases in about I think 1 through 10. I think I have a base in each galaxy now,
Excellent.
and now I have one in 42,
Hmm.
and I'm making my way to the outer rim, and as soon as I get there, I'll find me a decent planet and make a base there. Uh,
Excellent.
uh,
Welcome to Zobrage Galaxy.
well, I appreciate you're giving me a lift over here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Back then, when we made the pilgrimage out, it was quite the journey. We all warped there. Again, the camaraderie from warping together as a group. If you haven't tried something like that, you should. It's something very fun. Each person sort of takes a part and does a little share of the warping, and when you get a chance, you meet up and leap off of each other to cut a little bit of time off, so you're not all warping the same ground. It was a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun doing it. I'd love to do
Yeah,
it again.
I followed y'all's trip all through all that, and posted it in the Tribune.
Hmm.
And
It was,
I've kind of gotten away from that. I did the weekly newspaper, and I've kind of gotten away from doing it weekly. It's mainly because there's there's not as much going on right now with all the everybody just doing their exploring. Uh, but
yeah, that's something you did quite a bit in the early days. Is you wrote the Daily Tribune or the Weekly Tribune for the Amino
right.
Hub, and you did that religiously every week, and did a good job of it, where you were featuring players around Amino Hub. Excuse me. And some of the posts and other things, and you had other things in there as well. The little jokes section, videos and contests as well. So it was really cool, and I really enjoyed it. The newspaper sort of feel you gave it was really quite cool. I'm not sure if you ever plan to do that again, but if you do, I'm definitely there to read another copy of it.
Oh yeah. I've just been so busy since I bought this business. It's really consumed a lot of my time,
I hear
and
that. Life is busy, eh? Yeah.
so I guess real life took over a little bit, but I still try to keep as active as I can in the game.
Hmm.
It's my solitude, I guess you could say, whenever I get off of work and just want to come sit at home and sit in front of the TV, and I
Heck
don't want
yeah.
to watch TV. I want to play my game. So
Yep. It's more interactive, right? It's fun.
yes, it is.
Yeah, I've almost given up TV. I don't hardly watch anymore. My only free time is spent during the game, um, because like you said, life is just busy. Um, what is it that you do? What do you do for a living? You said you recently bought a business. Could you tell us what it is that you do?
I manufacture collision equipment for body shops. For when people wreck their cars, they take them to a body shop, and the shop has to have equipment. If a car gets smashed real hard, it's got to have a machine to pull it back out straight, and I manufacture the machines to do that with. The way to hold the vehicle and to pull the vehicle. So we make 10-ton power posts, 20-ton power posts, 50-ton power posts, and machines to straighten cars, trucks, trains, buses,
Hmm.
big tractor trailers
Wow. Wow, that's a
for
lot
the
of work.
collision industry.
Damn. Yeah, you think that'd keep you busy? Definitely. There's a lot of accidents out there in the world, I tell you.
Oh yeah, yeah, and people think I'm weird, but I like bad weather because without bad weather, there's no wrecks, and if there's no wrecks, I don't sell equipment. So
Well, exactly. I mean,
I
not all
don't want
wrecks
people
are.
to I don't want people to get hurt, but a little smashing up their cars every now and then doesn't hurt.
That's right. So everybody get into an accident. So Swisher can.
No,
Yeah. No, I mean it's something that needs to. It's a necessity out there, in the social atmosphere that we live in. We all drive cars, and accidents are going to happen. Somebody's got to
right,
repair them, and somebody needs to make the equipment to repair them. It's a chain, right? It goes around. You have a thing. You need something to fix the thing, and something to fix the fixes, and um, it works like that out there. So, you
part
know
of the
what?
circle of life.
That's right, the circle of life. In my industry, it's in the recycling, and so there is always that circle of life where it always comes back around to us. Um, and so just keep it going, right?
Exactly.
Hopefully, with the times the way they are with the coronavirus, that if people stay busy, people are able to maintain, work if they can, and if not, at least the government, I hear, is stepping up and now giving people unemployment insurance to cover for the loss of work. So a lot of states are doing that. I know Canada has issued that as well. So if you have to miss time for work for quarantining and whatnot, you can at least collect some money to feed your family. So Good on the
Right.
governments for stepping up to do that. That's a big thing when things are so crazy in this day and age. So good, good, good. Very, very happy to hear about that. Um, I've got one last question that I really want to ask you, and I ask this to everybody. Maybe you'll have the answer. Do you, sir? Do you know the answers to life, the universe, and everything else?
I know the answers to life in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep reaching out.
Keep reaching out.
You know?
Keep reaching
Yes.
out. Okay. That answer will eventually come to you. I'm going to keep reaching. Um, a lot of us have traveled out to 42 to try and find the answers to life. Um, and so far we haven't found it yet, but we're going to keep searching. We believe it's got to be out there in 42 somewhere.
It's gonna be in one of them, right?
That's right. I'm hoping one of these galaxies, and if not, we think our best chances are in 42, and because that goes perfectly well with our moniker of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And for those of you who haven't checked it out, you should, because it's a hilarious movie, and there's just so many similarities in the game that are mentioned about it. I mean, the game is full of them when you think about it. Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, all these things we grew up watching on TV, and the nostalgia of it. And they've sort of incorporated things that are very similar to that in the game all throughout.
Yeah, yeah. Sean has done a real good job of taking little pieces of just about everything in space that we've had over the last 50 and 60 years, and all the shows on TV. You know, you constantly find some little piece of something that reminds you of, Star Trek, Lost in Space, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica,
Oh yeah,
uh, just all of it. I mean, there's some little piece of all of it in everything that he does. Uh, this is a really great game.
it sure
It's
is.
a, it's a it's a great community. It's a great bunch of people.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone I'd rather spend time with than this community. And I would love for a North America meetup. That's something I'm gonna have to start putting feelers out there with people who might be able to arrange something like that, because uh, that would be just an amazing thing, is to have a meetup in North America as well as the UK, for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd like for Sean to show up.
definitely. He might just do that this time around. It was such a success last time. He might just
Well,
come.
he's probably going to be at the one. I hope he's going to be there at the one in
That would be
Guildford
fantastic.
this year.
That really
I
would.
mean, he's just right across the street.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be
So
really fantastic if he came. And I think the first year that he may have been a little bit worried. Maybe who knows, privacy, security, who knows. But I think after last year, there's more of a chance for of him to just randomly show up. And that would be really fantastic for you guys. And I wish I could come and be there too, but I'm just gonna have to watch your videos and posts.
right. Well, I wish you could
Excellent.
come too.
Yeah, next year maybe, or maybe there'll be a North American tour. I'd love to do that.
Right.
Swisher, it was a fantastic interview. Thank you so much for being on the show, buddy.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's been a long time coming, and I know life gets busy and difficult at times. Thank you for staying positive and not thinking that I've forgotten about you. And I'm just really glad that we had a chance to catch up and share you with the rest of the community at the cafe on Channel 42. It's just an honor.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad you invited me here, DG, and I hope everybody can stand my accent, as everybody says I have. So
I love your accent. I find it very soothing. I love the Southern accent. It's very soothing and comfortable to listen to. I don't know how you feel about a Canadian accent, but I like it. Oh, did I lose you, Swisher? I think we lost Swisher. Um, Yep, unfortunately so. So luckily we've got the interview in there. It was fantastic getting to know you, Swisher. He's in, he's out. He's a busy man. Thank you very much, Swisher, for being on the show. This is In the Cafe on Channel 42. And we look forward to next week's episode and whoever we get a chance to interview. I'm not sure who it'll be yet, but whoever it is, it's going to be another great show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And thank you, Nirwana, for building this amazing base. And we look forward to more wonderful interviews here at this amazing, incredible ambassadors interview location. Thank you.